being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
All right, if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Perry.
Here.
Councilmember Roy.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sippel.
Here.
Mayor Simonson.
I am here. All right, our first order of business during our work session tonight is we have a proclamation for Detective Joe Boyle. He is in his retirement, so if council would join me downstairs. All right, this is not a Pee Wee football award. I'd have my dad here because Joe played for him, 40 years ago. But we have a proclamation honoring Detective Joe Boyle. Whereas Detective Joseph Boyle has served the community in the field of law enforcement for over 25 years. Whereas Detective Boyle's career began in September of 1994 at the Cape May County Police Academy, from where he graduated in January of 1995. And whereas Joe was hired as a Lower Township police officer in 1994 and was assigned to the Patrol Division and then served as a Lower Township detective from May 2008 until his retirement in 2019. And whereas during Joe's tenure with Lower Township Police Department, he received multiple commendations, including many letters of appreciation from citizens on his professionalism in performing his duties. And whereas in October 2002, Joe's negotiation skills proved essential on the scene of a suicidal subject, which resulted in a positive outcome. And whereas in 2013, Joe received a commendation for his diligence in an extensive investigation resulting in an arrest for the sale of stolen handguns, which led to additional arrests by the Cape May County Prosecutor's Office. Now, therefore, it is with great pleasure that I, Mayor Eric Simonson, and the Lower Township Council do hereby congratulate Detective Joseph Boyle on his 25-year career in law enforcement and wish him continued success at the casino life of his choice and in all his future endeavors. Congratulations.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Joe, on behalf of the Lower Township Police Department, we just want to congratulate you on retirement. I started my career with Joe, worked the 25 years he's been there. I'm still hanging out. Don't know why. He's telling me how good he has it, how much he's enjoying life. Well, we just want to wish you and your family the best of luck. If you need anything, don't hesitate to give us a call, buddy. Congratulations. Yep.
All right. This is a great night because we just give out awards and get out of here and go vote tomorrow. We don't have a jam-packed agenda tonight, but We do have, if Kevin Dixon would come up. And Kevin's going to present the Valor Award presentation.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Good evening. My name's Kevin Dixon. I'm the chair of the Valor Awards Committee for the 200 Club of Atlantic and Cape May counties. Accompanying me tonight is retired Detective Michael Graham of the Atlantic City Police Department, and Michael and I are both surviving family members of line-of-duty deaths. We're involved in the 200 Club of Atlantic and Cape May counties because we believe in the mission, which is to provide support, both financial and material support, to the families of fallen law enforcement, police, fire, and rescue families. We are dedicated to that mission, but also we have the honor and the privilege of recognizing valor in this lifetime. And we take a great pride and pleasure in finding those moments where we can recognize an officer or a fireman or a rescue personnel who perform duties above and beyond the call of duty, acts of valor, and distinguish themselves among their peers. So we'd like to present this certificate of appreciation to Officer William Kosis, who's standing beside me now, in recognition of his valuable contribution toward the protection of the public, for undaunted courage and restraint in the face of a knife-wielding man. On March 31st of this year, Officer Kosis' disciplined response defused a potentially deadly outcome. The courage and teamwork displayed by Officer Kosis and his team resulted in the capture and arrest of a dangerous suspect who had already attacked. Officer Kosis and his team displayed qualities that demonstrate the core values and mission of this agency. Officer Kosis' quick reactions saved his life and the lives of others from a violent offender. His training, preparation, and ability to stay calm during this dangerous encounter led to the suspect being apprehended without injury. Officer Kosis' efforts bear great distinction on himself and represent the finest traditions of his department. The 200 Club of Atlantic and Cape May counties salutes Officer William Kosis. We have a few printouts, Mayor, of the information materials about the 200 Club. We just want to leave those with you, just as informational materials for your use. We invite you to be at the brunch in March, where we honor Valor recipients. We'd encourage you to nominate Officer Kosis or anybody else that you see fit to nominate for an actual Valor Award, and which would be presented in Atlantic City in March of next year. So we encourage you to do that if you so choose. Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
I can tell you this, and I speak for council, I know that we are very proud of our police department. I can't tell you how much of an honor as a mayor to stand up here and have these type of awards presented. It means a lot to us because our police department represents our community and you do a heck of a job, so thank you guys. And with that, next we have a CARA presentation. And if Officer Coombs, if he's here, if he could come up.
So, Officer Coombs, and it's with my great honor that we present you with the CARA's Purple Ribbon Award. Officer Coombs, someone wise wrote a long time ago that to serve takes dignity and intelligence. I think it takes a little bit more. I think it takes empathy and compassion. And the empathy and compassion that you showed to that mother and child that night, not only did he go once to the 911 response, he went back a second time and made sure that those two were taken to CARA and provided a safe haven for both of them and kept them apart from the perpetrator. And so empathy and compassion is something that just can't be taught, and it's something that you possess, and we can never, never thank you enough for all of your service and that kindness that you showed the mother and child that night. So, Corinne?
So we present to you, Officer Coombs, once again, for going above and beyond your call of duty to help victims and survivors of domestic violence, our Purple Ribbon Award. Thank you again for your wonderful service and all the wonderful things that you do for our community.
I'd just like to say thank you for what you do in your organization. You know, it takes a team to fight for the victims' rights of domestic violence, and you do an outstanding job along with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to thank you guys for coming down today to acknowledge our officers. It really defines the kind of agency we are and what we're trying to set our goals towards. So we really appreciate all you do and coming down here and just showing the appreciation to these guys and what they do every day. Thank you very much.
Which one? Oh, yeah, that's what he did, yeah, I'll email it to him. Yeah. Yeah. Linda Thomas. Linda Thomas is our clean community coordinator. She's gonna help you.
I need all the help. Give them that half of it. Or maybe they can come in another time, or you can just give them out. Well, let's do these. Okay. All right, at this time, we have another presentation of certificates and mini grants from the New Jersey Clean Communities International Coastal Cleanup. And they will be presented. What is it? Oh, that's the first one. Oh, yeah, Pack 87. Do you want to call them up? No? Okay. Is that our first one? Or is Pat Fury here? Pat, come on up. I'll read the one when we're all done. Have us stand right there for a minute. Next time, we got Colin Beckman. Come on up. All right, Colin. There you go, buddy. Stand right up here. Wait, stay up here. Stay up here. Liam Van Dorn. And I'll tell you what, Liam, turn right around. I'm going to read yours, okay? And then I'll give it to you for the pictures. How's that? So we want to give these volunteer certificates. They have, in recognition, they have proven to be an outstanding citizen of Lower Township by freely giving the generous gift of time, talent, and energy as a volunteer on behalf of the New Jersey Community's statewide litter cleanup. So thank you very much, guys. Yours? Nice job, man. Good job. Nice job, man.
Wait, they're gonna take pictures.
Yeah, get him in the picture. Oh, okay. Thank you again, volunteers. We appreciate it.
It's water. We're back still. You get right between your shoulders. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I woke up this morning and somebody stabbed me in the back. No, nothing yet.
Thanks again. Go get those cheeseburgers. All right, we're going to move down to our consent agenda. Does council have any questions or comments on our consent agenda?
Negative. None.
Negative, negative. All right, then we close that portion. We open it to the public on the consent agenda only. If you have any questions or comments, we ask that you step up to the mic and give us your name and address for the record. Any questions or comments on anything regarding the consent agenda? Don't see any.
Approval of the minutes from the October 21st, 2019 meeting and resolutions number 2019-329 through 2019-338.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Resolution number 2019-339. This is authorization for the payout of accumulated compensatory time for M. Perry in the amount of $6,853.36.
Anything from council? No. Anything from the public? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve. I will make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Abstain.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Resolution number 2019-340. This is for authorization for a payment of vouchers in the amount of $35,000 for Lower Township Rescue. This is the final payment for expenses.
Recusing.
Any questions or comments? Tom, could you go into the back room to recuse, please? All right, we open it to the public. Any questions or comments? I see none. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes. Move down to our manager's report. Mr. Ridgway?
We recently received, as of Friday, a response that's going to be coming up. We had planned to get Rabbit Run, which is one of our community's sewer and water, next year as part of the major plan. Well, we received a letter today from EDA stating that several of the properties in there are in jeopardy due to wetlands. So we're appealing this because Joe claims that was in the original permit app, but it was pretty long, and if you'd like to read it in depth, but I wanted to keep you up to date on that in case someone asks you where we are with Rabbit Run. There's concern about a couple of the individual properties. Trunk or Treat and Autumn Fest, we had to cancel from a week ago because of the terrible weather, but despite the 1-week cancellation, it was a success yesterday at the ferry. The rec worked closely with the chamber and a lot of community members to make the trunk or treat successful, but these folks were there a long time. They got there at 11 yesterday, and it was cold, it was windy, they had to move stuff, and they were still there breaking down at 7 o'clock last night. But it was a great day for the kids, and the huge screen for the Eagles game went over big because people were inside the terminal. It was two-sided, which I didn't know, but it really enhanced the day, along with how many vendors. All the materials have been measured out by Public Works and given to Mitch Plen, who our QPA is going to be going out for bid for the materials in the next 10 days to keep rolling along with our beach accesses. We're waiting for the second quote to come in. We have one quote on fencing on Roseanne Avenue and new gates there. We signed an agreement this past week with Lower Cape May Regional High School to host our new website because our other website became obsolete last week because the company was no longer able to host our site due to new technology. I had a meeting with Marty Palugi this afternoon, who obviously is head of emergency management, to give an update to you gentlemen tonight on our shared service agreement with the county, which we're going to meet again in December because Stone Harbor is set to be up and running. Although they're there now, they've signed on to an agreement, and we will have to renegotiate because Lower Township was offered in this agreement a discount when the second municipality came on board. And they are on board, and so for 2020, that will affect, before we finalize our budget, what happens with that. Along with, Marty said, another municipality very well could be on board by March. So that's very good news. Over the weekend, we haven't received it in writing, but we received a verbal acceptance of our Teamsters offer, and I will get the contract to you folks to look at, and we can discuss that at the next council meeting. That just took place over the weekend. They had met the rank and file at the end of the day on Friday. And lastly, our concert series might be increasing to 9 shows because the #1 draw show, the Amish Outlaws, were picked up by a large concert promoter in Los Angeles, and they couldn't give us the first show, which would have been the first Wednesday after the 4th of July, but the first Wednesday is like the 1st of July, and they would honor that date, so we'd like to kick that off. It is July, and we were fine with 8, but the ferry feels the people look forward to not stopping in the middle of August. We should go to that final week. And that will have a lot to do with because that's our local night, and discussions with Stellar Mojo to make sure which of those 2 nights they have their availability, because that was a success last year. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, we have an engineer's report. Excuse me.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here to give my engineer's report for the November 4th, 2019 meeting. Roseanne Avenue, phases 1 and 2, contract M10. The contractor is still working on punch list items, minor punch list items. Phase 3 of Roseanne Avenue, the contractor has constructed the main storm sewer pipe from Croydon Drive to between Amherst and Bayshore Road. That was completed as of October 17th. They've begun on the inlets and branch connections into that main storm sewer. The grit chamber is supposed to be here on Wednesday, November 6th, and the contractor plans to install that Wednesday, possibly finish by Thursday. Concrete work has begun at the westerly limits of the project. That is complete, substantially complete up through Deborah Street as of today. Onto the rec center restroom upgrade. We had a pre-construction meeting with the contractor on 10/23. That is Capri Construction. They are in the middle of submitting shop drawings, which we are reviewing. They submitted their insurance certificates and performance bond. We're reviewing them now, and we plan to issue a notice to proceed once that is meets the contract requirements. The emergency repair to the pipeline on Clubhouse Drive, we're awaiting one signature on that to submit the Thailand's license application. Mulligan Field renovations project, we submitted the final order of magnitude estimate to the Township on October 10th, and we submitted the final master plan to Mitch last week, and we are available to review that with him. Stormwater pollution prevention plan, we submitted documents to Gary Douglas several weeks ago. We're in the middle of scheduling a meeting with him to determine the next steps. And finally, the beach access improvements. We prepared and submitted a plan to the DEP on October 9th. That's to address the realigning of the beach paths. They're currently reviewing the plan. In addition, we were authorized by council on October 21st to design piles to pile support the stairs at Shadeland Avenue, Hollywood Avenue, Rosewood, and Redwood. We completed the survey last week, and we're starting on base mapping and design. That's all I have. Any questions?
I have one question. The grit chambers 3 on the Roseanne Avenue project.
Yes,
That's the end of the
that is the
piping, correct?
correct. Yep. So that should be in on Wednesday. They plan to have it here Wednesday. They just encountered either an AC Electric or Verizon line today. They're going to be, Atlantic City Electric is coming out tomorrow to see if that is owned by them. But the plan was to install that Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Okay.
But that could be delayed depending on what we encounter tomorrow.
After grit chamber 3 is in, and basically the road will be graded and waiting to settle for paving?
They have to, there's still the main storm sewer pipe between the service road and the grit chamber that needs to be installed.
Okay.
And there are the inlets at the intersection of Amherst that still need to be installed. They have under drain to install as well. So once that is done, then it will sit for the required settlement period.
Okay.
So,
Sean?
yes.
Question with regards, piggyback what Councilman Perry said. There is a waiting period, could be 60 days waiting period after this stuff is done.
That's what we have in the contract.
And then
correct.
we set up a meeting Wednesday with Bob Mainberger.
Yep.
And, you know, but my point is, if that stuff gets done, you know, time is certainly of the essence here. So I hope Bob can address that.
Yeah, we will discuss that on Wednesday. Obviously, we're getting into the cold weather period here, so those are things.
Because there is a possibility, correct, of putting a coating there, but there's a danger of just doing the coating, because in January, we could have freezing weather, is why I'm saying that, when we can't get asphalt.
Yeah, the concern with putting the base course down first is that you would see some settlement over time, but that's all stuff we need to discuss on Wednesday and look at a schedule and see what works for the township, the contractor, and us.
And you can take this back to Tim Clark, because this just happened today, and it was a little bit of a contentious weekend because of an accident from Mountains Equipment excavator that damaged the vehicle, and that person's been without transportation. And Mayor, I
Try to gave him a gator to ride around on.
I will say this, the gentleman did get his rental vehicle this afternoon, but not from the township. So the insurance company,
Nice.
it got worked out, and I don't know if Tim knows that yet, so you could tell Tim left me a message at 4 o'clock. I have a rental car. Thank you.
I'll inform them.
And thanks for the report.
Thank you. All right, moving down to council comments.
Actually got a few. Linda, I'm actually glad you're here. Linda is our recycling coordinator, and she does a wonderful job. And when you hear at the beginning of the certain point of the year where we get a recycling rebate from the county, she's responsible for keeping all those numbers and getting that for the township. I want to thank you for the job you do, because you don't hear that too often, do you? Never hear that. Okay. Irma Fire has an interesting thing up. It says, check your chimneys. Now, Dave and Roland can tell you about times that those things catch fire. Please check your chimneys. We don't need to be sending out emergency responses to watch your chimney catch fire. It's supposed to be underneath. Toys for Tots, there's a drop-off here at Town Hall. I told the Marines that I would let people know about that. Trunk or Treat was a great success. A lot of kids there. It was a little windy and chilly. I got to stand there with my grandkids. Well done by the rec department and all those volunteers that did have their trunks open. And the last thing is 12/3. We are having a town hall meeting here. I got it right here. Had it right here. You got yours there? You're going to read it anyway? Okay.
No, go ahead, you got it.
5:30 here at Town Hall. Cape Assist, in conjunction with the Lower Township Council, will be hosting a town hall meeting. Hope One will be here for people to do tours and to find out what's going on with that. That's from the prosecutor's office. There will be a Narcan demonstration, but also they will be doing Narcan training at 5:30. So if you want to get trained, and they will give you a little Narcan kit, that will be happening. And then at 6 o'clock, we will be starting with the town hall meeting. They're lining up 5-6 speakers from different things to let us know what is happening in the township, what we're planning on doing. This is stuff more out of the box. What the police department is great at the Narcan, giving the Narcan, getting everything started, but people need to know that the opioid emergency epidemic didn't disappear. It's just not being reported as much, but we're trying to do what we can here. And it seems in some cases to be working. That is it for me. Oh, and go vote. Don't forget to vote tomorrow. Not that anyone's going to get it, because all you people here are going to be voting.
They're going to sleep here and just get up and vote.
They are.
Councilman Perry?
The only thing I have to add to what Councilman Conrad had brought up, we just changed our clocks. Hopefully everybody changed the batteries in their detectors. There are new detectors out that are 10-year batteries that don't need to be changed. However, please check your smoke detector. We're getting in the heating season, which statistically, there's more fires in the heating season than not. And please check your carbon monoxide and your smoke detectors. That's it.
All right. Councilman Roy?
The only thing I have is the leaf schedule pickup is been published. It's in the clerk's office or thereabouts. I'm not sure, Julie, where exactly, but I did get a copy today. And they were available for the public to pick one up and determine what actions necessary in having their yard prepared and ready for pickup. That's it.
All right. Sergeant Major?
Okay, couple things. A reminder, this Saturday is the Veterans Day Parade, or second annual parade. Last year was a huge success. We had the Coast Guard Honor Guard kicking it off, followed by the Coast Guard Marching Band, 105 recruits, a high school marching band, Army trucks, and go on and on and on. About 45 pieces of equipment will be in the parade. So again, Saturday, 11 a.m., kicks off the Village Fire Department, ends right here at Township Hall. There'll be refreshments here for those who want to come back to Township Hall. So I ask we spread the word, get the word out in honor of veterans that day. Also, the Autumn Fest, I did attend that. It was a very nice event by the township, and the Recreation Department did a very good job. And last but not least, make sure we vote again tomorrow morning.
All right. And I'm proud to say that we have several Lower Cape May grads from last year that are now Coast Guard recruits, 2 of which just graduated their training boot camp. So we're proud of that. And we also, for your information, had another young man go off to the National Guard, left today for Fort Dix. And it's great, getting more and more students. Seems like this past year was very good for military service. And I was also at the Fall Festival. It was great. I think being able to watch the Eagles game while my wife peruses the vendors is always a plus. And I did want to send a shout out to, for those that didn't know, our girls field hockey, Lower Cape May Regional girls field hockey team made it to the South Jersey Championship game, and I just wanted to send a huge thank you out to Gary Douglas, our police department, all of our fire departments, and all of our rescue, Tom, Conrad, everyone. We had a send-off for them. Unfortunately, they played at 2 in the afternoon, so it was tough to get all the kids out because we can't do that, but we had a great send-off at the high school for them with all our first responders. They just had a real nice send-off. Unfortunately, they played a team that won their 8th straight South Jersey Championship, but getting there for the first time was a real accomplishment, and they just keep getting better. So, but we want to thank all of our, again, it's about community, and it was just it was really nice. The community came together to send the girls off, and it was just a nice day, except for the final score. But with that, get out and vote tomorrow, and we open it up to the public. Any questions or comments? Jokes, riddles, anything? Seeing none, we close the public portion. And can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A second.